I'm Miss Melanie. Today I'm going to show you how to do a really easy science experiment about colors. So first I'm going to show you all the things you need to do this project, and you can either do the project along with me or you can just watch me do it and I will show you everything and you don't even need these things. But this is what I used for the project. Don't forget, if you're a kid, you have to ask your parents first before you take any things and start using them for an experiment. And you might need their help a little bit for this project too. So the first thing I needed was just some regular water. I put it in a pitcher so that I could do it all at the same time. Just regular water. And then you need 6 containers or jars. I'm using mason jars. You don't have to use something that's all the same, but it does have to be clear. So either glass or Tupperware or something like that. You could also use bowls, anything that you could see through, because we want to be able to see the water and see what's happening with the water. And then you need the 3 colors of food coloring, yellow, red, and blue. And you need 6 pieces of paper towel. And that's it. Okay, so the first step in the experiment is to fill the 3 jars with the food coloring. So I'm going to start with red, and I'm going to put 4 drops in the first jar. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I am working on this baking pan because I thought that would be a nice way to make sure all the things stay on the tray, and if we have any spills then it's no big deal. And also we have to leave this experiment for a while, so if you need to move it around, you can move it if you have it on a tray. So that's why I'm using this baking tray. So now we're going to do yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last color we need is blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have all the food coloring in the jars. Now I'm going to take the water and I'm just going to fill up the 3 colored jars. Maybe about halfway. And now you can see the colors mixing with the water. Perfect. Okay. And then what you do is you set up the jars so that you have the colored jars in between the empty jars in a circle. Okay, so we have the jars set up in a circle. We have blue, then an empty jar, yellow, empty, red, empty. Okay, the next step is to fold your paper towel so you have 6 strips of paper towel. So we just fold it. This is a good thing that the kids can do, and it's really good practice for your hands to learn how to fold this paper. Okay, so then you'll just have a strip just like this that will fit inside the jar. So make sure you make it skinny enough that it will fit in the jar. So now I have 6 pieces of paper towel. Let's count just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are ready to do the next step. So the next thing you do when you're doing a science experiment, before you do anything, when you have everything all set up, you have to think about what you think is going to happen, and you make a prediction about what you think is going to happen. So if you have a piece of paper, you can get it out, and your mom or dad or whoever is helping you do the experiment can write down some of the things that you guys think. So what we're going to do is we are going to put a paper towel in the jar of water, and then we're going to put it into the next jar. So what do you think happens when you put a paper towel into water? What's going to happen to this paper towel? You have to think about it, and you can write it down. And the other thing I want you to think about is if 2 colors are going to go into one jar, what do you think is going to happen in this empty jar if it's connected to the two colored jars? Do you think these colors will mix together? And if you think they're going to mix, what color do you think will come when you mix these two colors? So you can make that prediction too. What color do you think will happen if you mix yellow and red? And what color do you think will come if you mix red and blue? And what will happen if you mix blue and yellow? So you can write down all those predictions, because when we do a science experiment, that's what we have to do. Think about what's going to happen, and then we're going to test it out and we'll see if what we thought happened. So I'm going to take the first paper towel and I'm going to start with yellow. I'm just going to put it in the water, make sure it goes all the way down into the water. And then you put it so it goes into the empty jar. Then I'm going to take the next one and we're going to put it into the empty jar and then into the red jar. And make sure you get it all the way down into the water. So when you are done, this is what it should look like. We're going to make sure the paper towels go all the way down into the water. And we'll make sure they're all touching the water. And wow, it looks like it's starting to turn even more blue. That water is creeping up onto that paper towel. Okay, so, and even now, without you see what's happening, you can even make more predictions now. And what I'm going to do is let this sit for a while and I will check on it in a little bit. All right, friends, so I'm checking on my experiment after about 8 hours, and you can see that all the water started going into the empty jars. See? The blue went into the empty jar and the yellow, and it made green. And the yellow and the red mixed together to make orange, and the red and the blue mixed together to make purple, and all that water kept traveling in the paper towels and all the way into the empty jar. That is so exciting. I hope you had a lot of fun watching me do this science experiment, and maybe you can try it at your house too.